cruise yesterday. It has been wonderful. The water is beautiful. The weather's been really nice. It's pretty cloudy right now, but yesterday we got here and it took about an hour and a half when all was said and done to actually get on the boat. Like, we got here at noon, but then we didn't actually get on the boat until 1:30. The check-in process took forever. Wear comfortable shoes if you're going on a cruise on the first day, because there's a lot of just standing and waiting and walking. Then we got lunch at a little buffet, and then dinner was really, really good. And we went to some pretty cool shows, did some trivia, so having a good day so far. I was exhausted last night. This morning we woke up around 7:30, went and had some really good breakfast, and we've just been at some like trivia shows and walking around exploring a little bit more. But I think now I'm going to go up to the top deck. I'm on my little balcony right now. Just look at that, that is gorgeous. But I'm gonna go up to the top deck and bring my book and just read with the sounds of the ocean in the background and the wind on my face. So I'm having a great time. Constantly tired because of how much walking we have to do, which it's really not that big of a deal. But I mean, if you've ever seen a cruise ship, they're ginormous. They're literally so big, and our like room is on the very back of the ship. So anytime we want to do something that's on the front of the ship, because most things are either on the front or the back. Like, there's stuff that happens in the middle, but just the things that we have been going to so far have been either the front or the back. And on certain floors, you cannot you can't cross. Does that make sense? So like, there might be something in the center that's blocking the walkways. So you have to go up or down a floor. So walking from one end of the ship to the other is exhausting. Stairs are not too bad, but there's a ton of elevators. They just take forever because there's 4,600 people on the boat with us. So who knows how long you're going to be waiting. But it does pay to learn the layout of the ship on day one, because we were doing so much backtracking, going up one extra floor, going down an extra floor, just getting lost trying to figure everything out. Carnival does have an app, which we've been using, that has helped. But when I'm on vacation, I don't want to just like have my phone out and on all the time. I feel like at this point, this is only day 2. It's our first full day on the boat. Everything that we know we want to go to, we kind of map it out beforehand, or we just like learn the layout beforehand. And that makes it a little bit easier. But I feel like I'm going to have ginormous calves at the end of this week from how much walking I'm doing on this boat. I would say a room with a balcony is worth it. Even though the balcony isn't that big, it's still super fun to just sit out there and watch the water. You know, I did my devotional out there this morning. I've done some reading out there, and it's just really peaceful and private, a place to just chill, because I really like to have my eyes on the water as much as possible. So having the water right here and fresh air right outside my room has been really nice. A lot of the entertainment that we've been to has been super entertaining. We went to a comedy show that was probably the worst I've ever been to. It was so bad, but it was fun because my husband and I were just making fun of him the whole time in a very lighthearted manner, you know? So entertaining. We've gone to a lot of trivias, and they've been really, really hard. I don't care. I'm just here for a good time. So, and I've never been in second place on the trivia. I'll just put that out into the world. The one I did best on was Guess That Song Diva Edition. So it was just like popular female artists and songs that made them popular. So speaking of songs, whoever is doing the like radio station for this ship. I love them. We're besties. They have played Taylor Swift almost nonstop. It's been incredible. It's like you're walking down the ship, and every time that I like actually tune in and listen to the music, like 75% of the time it's Taylor Swift. And I'm talking not just like new Taylor Swift. Like there have been debut songs all the way through Midnights. And I'm here for it. I love it. It's great. We are about to go down to dinner. Night 2 dinner. It's the fancy night. But honestly, no one followed the dress code yesterday. So I don't think I'm gonna I'm wearing a dress, so like I'm technically fancy, but just know if you're going on a cruise, be comfortable. Don't stress about bringing all the clothes to fit all the guidelines. Like athleisure is something that I wish I brought more of, and I'm a girly girl who loves sundresses, so I packed I packed like 3 sundresses, and it's been great. That's probably what I'm gonna be living in. I'm in Cozumel right now, and there's like a million people around me, so I'm trying to be subtle. I don't even know if you can hear me talking over like the waves and all the noise, but we went scuba diving and it was incredible. I will talk in depth about it later. And right now I am waiting to get a massage, and my husband is gonna go scuba diving again, so we're having a blast. We just got back from our excursion in Progresso. We're actually still in port in Progresso. We haven't left yet. I'm out on our balcony. It was such a good day. But first I'm going to tell you about yesterday. So yesterday we were in Cozumel and we went scuba diving. It was incredible. But I absolutely freaked out, like panicked. Because I don't know, if you've never been scuba diving, you know that you're gonna be breathing underwater, but like I didn't know what that was gonna feel like until I was doing it, and we had to practice just like breathing underwater and like some other skills in case something goes wrong while you're out in the middle of the ocean or whatever. And the first thing we had to do was just sit on the ground. So like we were in water that was shallow enough to stand, but we sat on the ground and we were just gonna practice breathing, practice like taking our, I forget what it's called, but like the mouthpiece that you breathe through. We had to take it off underwater and then put it back in. It's just like practice stuff. I just got underwater and started breathing and started freaking out, like borderline panic attack, because I was breathing through my mouth. I couldn't breathe through my nose because I had my mask on. But for some reason, just the fact that I was breathing underwater, like I felt so claustrophobic and I felt like I was gonna suffocate, and I just wasn't breathing deeply, so I freaked out. And it was really funny because we had like all the hand signals, and the instructor was like, "Are you good?" And I said no, and so he told me to go back up, like above water, and wait. And so while I was above water, I was just practicing breathing with the thing to try and get used to it. And he came up, did not even ask me what was wrong, just said, "Go back under and sit down." And I was like, okay. So I went back under, was trying not to freak out, and I did a little bit better. And then he was like, "Okay, now let's go this way." And we all thought that we were gonna go somewhere else, go under again, and then come back up and then start the like dive. No, we went and started the dive. And so I'm really glad that he didn't give us like an option to not do it, because me and my mother-in-law were freaking out. We didn't think we could do it because we were just like not getting the whole breathing thing right. But he didn't give us an option. He didn't even tell us we were starting. He was like, "Okay, now go down again." And we were like, "Okay." And he put my mother-in-law's hand on one side of his jacket and my hand on the other side. And my husband and my father-in-law were great. They were over there going upside down, doing all this stuff. They were having fun. But the entire dive, we were just holding on to his jacket. But it was gorgeous. We tried to do like little GoPro videos. I don't know if the footage is going to be any good. If it is, I'll try and add some to the video. But, oh, it was gorgeous. I did not expect to see so many fish and like all the coral reefs, and the water was just so clear. Like you could see the floor like 20 feet down. It was insane. Altogether, it was a ton of fun. And my husband and father-in-law liked it so much, they asked if they could go again. So they paid him like $50 and did like a really long dive. Me and my mother-in-law got massages because I wanted to do it again, but I also wanted a massage, and my head was kind of hurting from like the pressure. So it would have been cool to go again, but I'll do it another time. So that was awesome. That was yesterday at Cozumel. Today we were in Progresso and we didn't have an excursion booked. We were like, oh, we'll just get off the boat and like see what's still available. Not much, so I don't necessarily recommend doing that. But we ended up going to this like beach, and it was so sketchy. Progresso is not, it's sketchy. We had to drive there, like we took a bus there, and it was like not a touristy area that we were driving through, which is fine, but I was also like, you better be careful because it's shady looking, kind of sketchy. But we got there and it was fine. They dropped us off and they were like, hey, just so you know, this excursion that you paid for, you have to find your way back to the boat. Have fun. And we were all like, what the heck? So that freaked us out in the beginning, but I think like what they meant was we're not going to pick you up from the beach. Like you had to walk to the bus station and then they'd take us back. So it ended up being fine, but we did start that excursion in a little bit of a panic. But I got to sit on the beach with my feet in the sand, go out in the water and I read on the sand. We had some really good fajitas. So it ended up being a good time today, but it started off a little rough. On the boat, there's been a ton to do. Mostly what we've been doing is we'll go to like the trivias, and we've been hitting karaoke every night, and that's been a blast. The first night we just watched, and there was one song, what song was it? Tennessee Whiskey, I think. Yeah, someone was singing Tennessee Whiskey. So my husband and I got up and went to like the back of the room and started dancing. Well, then the guy that was in charge of karaoke came to the back and he was like, oh no, like y'all need to come with me. And I thought we were getting in trouble, which I was like, why are we getting in trouble? He took us to the front, to the stage, so we could dance in front of everyone. And which was fine. We dance in front of people all the time, but I was just like, man, this is like at karaoke. I don't want to steal this guy's thunder. He wasn't very good, but he was just a few beats behind. No one's good at karaoke. There have been like 3 people that have been good, and other than that, everyone's just there for a good time. So it was fun. Everyone came up to us and afterwards were like, oh my gosh, you should teach us how to dance. And we were like, yeah, we will. And we have no plans to do that. And then last night we got there and I was looking at the song choices for karaoke, and it was saying that if you signed up for a song, like if you requested a song, it was going to be a 3-hour wait. And karaoke only lasts 3 hours. So I was like, okay, if I sign up for a song, like I'm not actually going to get to go. So I signed up kind of on a whim, thinking I wasn't going to get to go. Well, it's the end of the night. It's winding down. There's maybe 10, 15 minutes left in karaoke. And the dude calls my name. And I was like, oh man. So I didn't even tell my husband or my family that I signed up. But I stood up and he was like, wait, is that you? And he just came up with me. He didn't even know what song I picked, which, Love Story by Taylor Swift. Tried to pick something that I thought a lot of people would know. I'm sure we were awful, just like everyone else that was there, but it was fun. Got to be on stage and sing with my husband, so it was cool. I'm exhausted. I'm absolutely wiped. We all are. So I think the rest of today and all of tomorrow is going to be kind of a relaxing time. I don't think we're gonna do too much. Like we might, are we leaving? Oh, we're moving. Nice, we're leaving Progresso right now. That's why I love having a balcony. But anyway, I think we might go to dinner in about an hour or so and then read, hang out, go to sleep. But it's been fun. I'm really enjoying it. I'm out of my balcony again. We just did the little presentation for how we're leaving tomorrow, and I can't believe that it's already over. Today we are just gonna chill. I think we're planning on going to a lot of the trivias today because we're just still wiped, not really in the mood to go swimming or anything like that. So we're just gonna enjoy some of those types of activities. And I finished Summer Romance yesterday. It was so good. Oh my goodness. I loved it so much. But maybe, depending on how things go today, I might start just for the summer. But I'm really not worried about it. I'm just enjoying the views. I am home from vacation and oh my goodness, it is so good to be home. We actually got home yesterday and I slept so good last night. I think that's how I know that like I'm an actual adult now, is that it felt so good just being home and sleeping with my own pillow in my own bed, and it was so nice coming home to a clean apartment. So thank you, Past Me, for cleaning up before we left. I did want to mention a couple more things about the cruise, just because while I was there, I was filming, but I was also really focused on just like being present and enjoying my time. So that's why a lot of the clips have just been like me sitting somewhere talking and not me like actually filming it as it's happening, if that makes sense. I just really didn't want to be glued to my phone while on vacation. But on the last night that we were there, we did just kind of relax all day, but then after dinner, we went to just listen to this band play, and we got to talking to them, and basically they were just playing variety music at first, and then every time they'd play a country song, we would get up and dance. Like me and my husband and then my in-laws would get up and dance because we love country dancing. And so they, noticed that and started playing more and more country music until it was just like a country music set, which was hilarious and so fun. And we got to know all of the people that were playing in the bands, and I didn't know very much about how like working on a cruise works, but basically they're on like 6 or 7 month contracts where they don't go home. Like they'll be on a ship for 6 months and then they'll go home for like 2 months. So there were so many different like people from different places there. We met a lot of people from Indonesia. The singer was from Colombia, a lot of people from the Philippines. We also met one guy from Ireland, which was cool. So it was just really cool meeting a bunch of different people and talking to people and just seeing how different, their lives are from ours. And another thing I didn't know is that they send you like after the cruise, they send you an email asking you to basically review the service you get and the people you met and all that sort of stuff. And I knew about the email. I haven't gotten it yet, but I knew that was like something that they did. But I thought it was more just so like Carnival knows or could use our review as an advertisement or something. That's absolutely not it. Like our reviews, how we rate people, is how they get promoted. It determines what benefits they get, their time off, like everything. So their entire like career is based on our reviews. So as soon as I learned that, everyone I talked to, I was writing down their name. That way when it comes time for me to review it, I can make sure to mention everybody, because there was not a single person that worked on that cruise that was not nice and like smiling and just in such a good mood. Like, it was kind of shocking how upbeat and happy literally everyone was. So anyway, all that to say, the dancing was really fun. I met someone who lives just a few hours from me, and so she was hanging out with us and dancing, and that was a ton of fun. If you're watching this, but anyway, another thing I wanted to talk about is the fact that I did finish Summer Romance. I absolutely loved it. I'm going to save my review for the end of the month wrap up, because I don't want to spend too much of the video talking about this book. But if you've read this book, you know that the main character has a charm bracelet. That's all I'm going to say about it. But I read this book, and then the day I finished it, I had not talked about it to anyone. My mother-in-law bought me a charm bracelet from the boat. Isn't that so cute? Like, and it has, like, there's a little boat. That's so sweet. And so I just thought that was so cool how, like, I'm reading about a woman who has a charm bracelet that, like, is very meaningful to her, and then I got gifted a charm bracelet. I hope you enjoyed following along on my little cruise, on my vacation. Let me know in the comments if you've ever been on a cruise, what your thoughts were, or if you hope to take one. If you have any questions about my experience, I would be more than happy to answer them, again, in the comments, or you can send me a DM on Instagram at Holly Adams Reads, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye.